It's Wednesday. Feels like Monday.
Yeah, I know. I'm all thrown off.
Okay, let's see. I think you're the only one on right now.
Yeah.
We still got a
so.
couple minutes here, so
Yeah.
pretty exciting stuff on this assignment deal, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it.
Did you know this buyer? Have you sold them anything before?
Yeah, I know that I always sell them stuff and lend them money. So I'm lending on the deal as well.
Double dipping.
Double dipping. So yeah, I've done a lot of deals with them.
So they're gonna sell this deal. They're gonna be all in for $100,000 on the purchase. They're gonna put how much in it and sell it for how much?
I think they plan on putting in 30 grand and then selling it for like 170.
And what is their and they're just doing a retail fix and flip, right?
Yep.
Are you doing a double close or assignment?
Assignment.
And so they're going to know what you make.
Yeah, I've made 30 grand off of them before. They don't
care.
They don't care. We have a good relationship.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Yeah,
they don't care.
Sweet.
I think I've paid them 20 grand before too, so we just always swap back and forth.
Yeah, no, I've done that too. You really can't complain if you've done the same thing back and forth. You know, we really can't complain about the deal. Either they want it or not. You know, it's like,
yeah.
Well, cool, man. Hey, David.
Good morning, fellas.
How's it going?
Well, I can't complain. It's going good.
Good deal. Jeff's on.
How you doing, guys?
Doing good.
Good to see you.
I was at my lake house for 7 days straight. So I'm trying to get back in the groove.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't work over the weekend really, just a little bit, but you know, during the week I worked. So it wasn't like I was just on vacation or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, Josh, I see Ziglowski. I see you just jumped on.
What's up, my man?
How's it going?
Real good. You?
Not bad.
Did you have a fun weekend? Sound like you're at your cabin or something?
Yeah, I was at my lake house. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I'm going back down there Friday because Trina's birthday is on Monday, and she turns the big 40.
Oh, look out.
We got to have a little get together, a little
big party there.
Everything's starting to open back up. So I live in Iowa, and our lake house is in Illinois, but our lake house is on a private lake, and they kind of do their own rules. So you know, like there was some law. I don't know if this law is still, like, if the governor still has this law or not, but there was a thing where you're not supposed to so for some reason my screen's not the big screen. I don't know why. Usually that's not the case. How do you do that?
Hi, Tyler.
There it is. Okay. Cool. So anyway, so there was a law, the governor passed a law where you couldn't have two. This is so stupid. You couldn't have more than two people in one boat. Now, so you could have a family of 5 that live together that share bedrooms, and that's fine, but you couldn't get on a boat together if you're more than 2 of you. So anyway, but this lake is private, and so they're not in, you know, I don't know that those laws were, like, you know, had anything to do with the private lake that I'm at, but anyway,
maybe you and Trina could be in the boat, and then your friends could be in the inner tube going behind.
Yeah, well, I actually bought it for Trina. I bought her I think it's a 25-foot pontoon last year.
Awesome.
That you know, it's hers. I just let her have it. But I've never driven the boat, so she's never driven it either. We always have Tyler drive it. But so we have this 25-foot pontoon, and it'll hold like 15 people probably. Wow. And we had probably 10 people on it over the weekend, so it was fun. the lake I live on is pretty neat. So it was a lot of fun. How about you guys? You guys have a good time over the weekend?
We did.
Nice, relaxing.
Still recovering a little bit,
Yeah.
but I had a good time. Yeah, I had family in town and went and had my daughter's birthday as well over the weekend. And yeah, now just getting back at it.
Good deal. Robbie, how's it going, man?
Good, man.
And let's see, Rod's on too. Rod, how you doing?
Guys,
Hello.
phone call started coming in, Matt.
Like magic, huh? Good deal. What do you guys, we're gonna, so I didn't really figure there would be that many people jumping on today with the short week and stuff. So I'm just gonna do Q&A today. I just want to just answer questions for you guys. I'm not gonna do any formal teaching or anything. I will update you guys. So I think I told you guys last week. So this whole land glide thing that I'm working on, I explained that to you guys, right? You guys know what we're working on there. So, but there's one piece of it we're still waiting to hear back, and I just got an email from Amanda. She's working on this right now. So I think I explained to you guys. If I didn't, I'll just repeat myself real quick. So the reason why Lead Sherpa is legal is because with Lead Sherpa, when you text somebody, you text one at a time, right? You hit the button, it sends a text. You hit the button, sends a text. That's one way to skate around it being, to follow the laws. Secondly, you're not selling them anything. You're buying something from them. So typically we text sellers. Well, with this new land glide system, part of it is texting sellers, but part of it is texting buyers. And we're just trying to make sure that, that we follow the laws. And so we're trying to get a hold of there's no TCPA attorneys in the Quad Cities. I couldn't even find any near me anyway. Not that that matters. You don't necessarily have to have an Iowa-based TCPA attorney. But anyway, we're just trying to get the final go-ahead. The whole thing's created. It's all done. We just want to get the go-ahead for it. I'm hoping to get an answer this week. It's a short week. Nobody worked over the weekend. So we're just trying to finalize that piece, and then the land glide thing will be done. You guys can go crush it with it. So that's the update there. I'll keep you guys posted as soon as I know. Most people would just release it and they don't care. But I actually just like to follow the rules. So,
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know what I'll have to spend. I know this is going to be stupid, but whoever we get a hold of, we need to ask one question to a TCPA attorney, and they'll probably charge me like $1,000 for one question. So it is what it is, but it's better than to get sued, right?
Absolutely.
So anyway, I don't know if you guys, have any of you guys ever been in a lawsuit?
I've been in
Yeah.
two in 17 years.
Yeah, I deal with lawsuits nonstop.
Really?
Yeah, because we're a big operation, and I mean, technically a lawsuit, you could get sued by a tenant for something. You can be doing the suing against tenants, which happens a lot. And then you could have something pop up at any given time. Plus all of the stuff I do, I run past attorneys. So we're constantly paying attorneys. So I typically, I spend about $10,000 a month just in attorney's fees, just to follow all this stuff and make sure that we're following the rules, and make sure if anybody, there's people, I've been sued before by tenants. We had this tenant that filed a lawsuit against us because she was really, really big and overweight. She weighed like 450 pounds or something. And she wasn't even my tenant. She just was visiting one of my rental properties. And I'm one of those principal guys. Like, I just won't pay somebody just to pay them. The problem is I'm a target because everybody knows we have money. So they try to get free money from me. So this tenant comes over and goes up on one of the porches to one of my rental properties, and she steps down and she breaks the board and breaks through into the through the deck or to the porch. And so we get sent when you get served with a lawsuit, we get sent this and this tenant wanted $10,000, and she sent all these pictures of her bruised legs and all this. And I'm like, well, wait a minute here. Before we just, write somebody a check for 10,000, let's do a little research. And we went over there to the house, and the deck was in perfect shape. We had no neglect at all. So I said, no, we're not going to just write a check. We're going to fight this thing. So my insurance company gets a hold of me, and they're like, Matt, why would you want to just let us file a claim? We'll send this gal $10,000 and we'll be done with this. And I'm like, no, that's not the point. The point is we didn't do anything wrong, and I'm not just going to write somebody a check for $10,000. So long story short, we fought this thing for a year.
Oh my God.
And so they finally said, okay, well, give us $5,000. And this is all through her attorney. And I'm like, nope, not getting $5,000 either. And they goes another couple months. Okay, just give us $2,500 and we'll go away. I'm like, nope, not getting $2,500 either. Okay, well, give us $1,000 and we'll go away. I'm like, nope. And all my attorneys, all my insurance people are like, are you crazy, Matt? Like, why wouldn't you just get rid of this? And I'm like, it's just the principle. And so at the end, she asked for $500. And I said, no, you're not getting $500. You're not getting anything. And I won the lawsuit. It took like a year and a half to win it, but I won it. And it's just out of principle. So we deal with that stuff all the time. So for me to spend a little bit of money to make sure something's legal, it's worth it. Mainly because I don't worry about the lawsuits as much as it weights down on my mind. Like, I don't know if you guys ever get sued for anything, you'll realize it's just kind of, it kind of fills up some space in your brain, and you hate dealing with it. But it's really important, two things. If you guys ever do go through a lawsuit, here's my advice. Hire the most expensive attorney, the best attorney money can buy. You will win every case. You will spend money to win, but you can get your attorney's fees back if that's part of the deal. So you can charge the people suing you for your own attorney's fees, and hire the most expensive people. Do not go cheap. You will win every single case. My attorneys are so good and so expensive and so powerful that a lot of times, if there's a lawsuit that comes up and we get served, we send back. I have two attorneys. I have my real estate attorney, and I have my bloodthirsty killer bulldog attorney that deals with litigation. So we'll get served with a lawsuit to my real estate guy, because he's my registered agent. And they don't know that I have this bloodthirsty killer attorney over here. So what happens is we get served, and then I turn it all over to my bloodthirsty killer, and he sends them a letter, calls them up, calls their attorney, and usually it gets dropped because he's undefeated. He's never been beat. So people just walk away. But now I have to spend a lot of money with him to make that stuff happen. But it's amazing. I learned the hard way, because I had people deal with lawsuits. And I don't want to scare you guys with lawsuits and stuff, but it's a reality. It could happen, right? So I'll tell you another quick story. I had a lawsuit I got hit with like 4 or 5 years ago. And I was hiring, this is all like really, really good stuff to learn, so that you learn from my mistake and then you don't do it. So I hired this guy to do roofing and siding for me. This is like 5 years ago. And he went out and he was doing this guy had a humongous crew. He was doing like 10 to 15 houses for me all the time. He would be working on 10 to 15 houses every single week. And so one day I get a letter, I get a lawsuit that I get served with. And I'm like, this supply company, this building supply company is suing me for $80,000. And I'm like, what in the heck is going on here? And they're like, well, you didn't pay us. And I'm like, I don't even know who you are. Like I hired this guy over here. He did the siding. I paid him for labor and materials. And so they're like, yeah, you did that. But, and we recognize that. We realize that you paid him, but he didn't pay us. So now we're suing you. So I'm like, well, that's not happening. So I hire my attorney, and long story short, not only did I win it and didn't have to pay the 80 grand, they had to pay me $30,000.
Wow.
So that's why it's really, really good to get, get lien waivers signed by, if you guys have my rehab manual, all this stuff is in there. That's why we learned how to do it. But make sure you're getting lien waivers signed by all of the subs that are on your job so that you can avoid that hassle. I had to go through that hassle and, deal with that for a month or two or whatever. I don't remember how long it took me to get through it, but it irritated me. But that stuff happens sometimes. So my advice, if that ever does happen to you, to make sure that you hire a really good attorney. Find the most expensive one. Have any of you guys ever watched the show Billions?
Yes.
Heard about it.
All right, so put that on your list of.
Okay.
I don't watch a lot of TV, guys. I'm not a big TV guy. I like to watch movies sometimes, but I don't watch TV. But every week I watch one show, and that's Billions. And I don't know why I like it. I just think I like this main character. His name is Bobby Axelrod, and I like his. I don't agree with his business practices, because he's kind of a shady dude. But I like the fact that he walks around in hoodies, sweatshirts, and like he dresses. Like, for me, this is the most I get dressed up right now. I have a collared polo shirt on, and I'm wearing shorts right now. And but I like his attitude and but I like how he's fearless. And if he hires the best people to fix problems, and there's a lesson to be learned there. Like, never go cheap. The difference between hiring an average attorney and hiring the best attorney is the difference between winning and losing, period. So if you ever do find yourself in a lawsuit situation, make sure you do not use your real estate attorney that's closing your deals for you. He is not set up for litigation. So I had to learn that the hard way. I lost a lawsuit. I had a guy, this will blow your mind, you guys. Again, I've been through a lot of this, so I'm kind of used to it. I got thick skin, and I don't get scared too easy, and I have the money to fight this stuff. But I had an employee steal $10,000 worth of tools from me, and he got away with it legally, and I ended up having to write him a check for this other BS that he sent to the state for something about his wages or something. It was nuts, and he got away with it legally because I didn't document his last day on the job. We fired him, and he took all these tools, and he said he dropped them off. We didn't have cameras. We didn't do any documentation. I didn't even document the tools he had that I bought. But the thing I learned from that was a very valuable lesson. And I hired my real estate attorney that closes my deals to handle that case. And so I was just like, the way they're just sissy, total sissy, but great at closing real estate deals, like amazing at that, but not litigation. So if you ever go through it, my advice is hire the best of the best. Find the best. Ask around. Find out who has relationships. So one of the things you learn from the Billions show is he always finds who has the relationship. He finds out who's friends with who, and he hires that guy. And so we kind of do the same thing when we get into a situation where we're trying to get something done. You hire the people that you're friends with. So imagine, let's say I'm suing somebody, and one of my best buddies is an attorney. If that attorney calls me and says, "Hey, Matt, you're suing this guy, and I just want to let you know this guy's actually a really good guy, and I think you should back off and kind of take it easy on him. Let's work something out." I would do that because I got this other guy telling me he's a good dude, So anyway, just a little lesson there. Make sure you hire the best of the best. So, and let me tell you, the difference between an average attorney and a good one is like $300 an hour. So every time you get a text message, you're spending like $200. It's nuts. But because they charge you in quarterly by the hour. So if a guy's $600 an hour, it's $150 for everything he does. If he doesn't use 15 minutes, they round up. So just kind of remember that too. The bills can kind of scare you if they can wrap up pretty fast. So anyway, enough about that. Don't be afraid of this stuff. But if you ever get in a situation, make sure you hire the best people you can find. Okay, enough about that. What do you guys want help on today? What can we talk about that I can help you?
Well, one thing I wanted to say is this isn't necessarily about help, but I wanted to thank you because you guys sent us over an email with the new program that you said you were going to organize for us. So I wanted to thank you. Haven't opened it up yet, just saw it come through, but thank you.
Yes, you guys should be getting that. The Virtually Unemployed 2.0. Josh Z, I was emailing you about this morning. That's what it is.
I got it. Yeah.
Okay, good. So you guys will see all that, and you will. It's a very well organized. Much easier to, and I have to give Tyler credit for it. I told him I wanted to do that, and he had already done it like a few days ago. So much easier to understand, much easier, more organized, all that good stuff. So hopefully that helps. So yeah.
That's great.
And so again, you guys, just kind of like I was emailing Josh Z back and forth the last couple of days, it's not just for you, it's for your virtual assistants too, right? You're using this product to teach your virtual assistant. So the easier you can have something available for them to learn from and the stuff that they can find, the better it is. So that's good. I'm glad you like that.
Yeah, can't wait to dig into it. Even though we've got the material, it'll be an organized way to approach it. So
Yep.
Also, just as a side thing, I noticed a lot of big producers like yourself, Matt, seem to be this way. And I think you're this way, but you tell me whether you're not. For example, the area of specialization of probate real estate. I don't see you talking about, well, yeah, I'm sending someone down to the courthouse. Blah, blah, blah. And is it because my supposition is it's maybe because you're sending out so much marketing and mail and this and that you're actually covering those things by all the marketing you're doing anyway, maybe, and you don't have to specialize?
So let me just tell you, every time you hear or see of a technique that you can use to find a deal, I don't mess around. I get somebody on it right away. Okay. So when the probate thing really got popular a few years ago, okay, like every guru was talking about it. This is probably 10 years ago. You really, like every single guru was talking about probate. Right. So I hired a person, $800 a week. I paid. This person's full-time job was go to courthouse every single day.
Wow.
And pull every single record. I mean, we had a whole process, step by step that we figured out on our own just from asking questions and going to the courthouse and asking the person at the desk. We basically figured out the process in which to pull those records. And then we were contacting them. And I paid this guy for 6 months. I paid him $800 a week. And he was religiously going there and doing this stuff. Guess how many deals I got? $800 a week. 6 months later, guess how many deals we closed, probate deals we closed from that?
One.
Exactly none.
Oh my God.
So, but I was still closing probate deals. You want to know how? Because they were answering my direct mail and they were calling my bandit signs.
I got you.
So again, you got to track your marketing to know which marketing works. That's why we're so big on Podio and CallRail and all that stuff. But I didn't get a single probate deal back then from the work he specifically did. So I let the guy go. It wasn't his fault. It's just the process didn't work. It was working better. What we found out is people would rather call a bandit sign than get a letter from somebody that's saying, hey, I noticed that your so-and-so just died and we want to buy your house. It's just easier if they contact you. Makes sense. If they get a direct mail piece that doesn't specifically say anything about probate, then it just seems to work better. So that's why we do it the way we do it. And I'm just telling you guys, I share everything we do. Like I literally, my discovery to share time frame is like 0. Like we discover something, we test it, it works, I share it. So that's like this Land Glide thing. It's you guys are basically getting it within like a couple of weeks of us doing it. And so if I discover something, I'm going to tell you guys about it. And so we do not have any luck with probate. Doing it that way.
Got it.
Hey man, what about things like I'm just trying to keep my VA busy, I didn't. She didn't have much work. Didn't give her much work last week. But just
Why is that? Why wouldn't she be adding cash buyers and all that?
she, I did tell her to get me 100 because she got me about 50, 40, and I said, hey, I want 100 cash buyers. So she's working on that now. Sent her the video on the Craigslist, how to find cash buyers and ghost ads and stuff like that. But just things to kind of keep your VA busy. Because right now I'm started to get phone calls over the weekend, late last week. I got about 15 calls, about 3 or 4 of them motivated sellers that I'm pushing back to follow up next month. But just
so you know, I literally despise busy work. Like I don't like it when somebody's like says I want to keep somebody busy. I don't know if it's the way I'm built. I just don't like it. Rather than keep somebody busy, give them specific tasks to do. So for example, like 100 cash buyers, if they get that done, go to 200. If they get that done, go to 300. If they get that done, go to 400. And then if they've ringed out the system of every cash buyer in the area, give them a property that you know the exact value of and say, run comps, watch these videos, follow this routine, and give me the value of this property, because you're going to have to get really good at figuring out what stuff's worth. So you can be doing training that's important training that they need to learn versus just keeping them busy with something. You know what I mean? Like the whole, like I haven't run comps on a house in 7 years, I'd say. I don't need to because Amanda does that for me, or Daisy does that for me, or whoever else Amanda has do that part. And they're good at it because they do it every day. But that's something that's time consuming that must be done exactly as I've showed you guys. So that's a very, very important piece to this whole process. So I would give, if you get something where your virtual assistant is caught up with the work that they're doing, then start giving them training exercises to make sure you're sharpening their skills.
Are you doing lead Sherpa texting?
Yes. Oh, for Rod?
Rod, yeah.
Rod, yeah. Are you?
I have another system that I use for texting. I haven't gotten her. I'm going to get her trained on that, but
yeah,
that's definitely something I plan on having her do.
So Josh, next, just share. So you've done pretty decent with your virtual assistant, and you started hiring. You just hired your virtual assistant a few weeks ago during this training, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you share a little bit of what with the group, with some of the stuff that you're doing with her, and some of the stuff that you've done with her?
Yeah. So she has daily tasks and weekly tasks that she's had to learn because it's totally different things. One thing is like, she does the text messaging, and I just give her, she has so many text messages to do that it's a full-time job in itself almost. She's 40 hours a week and could push 50, 60 hours a week pretty easily by now. And then one thing she does is like every Nexa email, so the call service, every Nexa email we get, whether it's take me off your list, and she'll go through the list and remove them. And I mean, when you start getting a lot of direct mail out there, there's a lot of emails that start flying in. So she processes through all those emails. She checks voicemails on CallRail to see if they're motivated or not, because the voicemails on CallRail won't go to Nexa. So she scrubs all those. That's a daily task. She does Craigslist ads. She does MailChimp stuff to buyers and sellers. Gosh, what else? She just has done, she just does but she has, the daily task pretty much can take the whole day, whether it's emails, Sherpa, setting up RVM, listening to voicemails. That's just a little bit of what I'm doing now. There's a lot more I need to tack on, but that's kind of a gist.
That helps a lot, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, and then the running comps, like what Matt was saying, I think it's a good idea. Just give her practice, like run this comp, and start having her do stuff in Podio, like that's another thing is sometimes leads need to get assigned the campaign. So I just task her in Podio, assign the campaign to this lead because I have no idea where it came from. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things, but
also, Josh, why don't do you want to share the wholesale deal you just did real quick?
Sure. Yeah. So I got a deal under contract yesterday for 73, and I have a few good buyers that always buy stuff from me, and I turn around and wholesaled it for 100 grand. So that was a huge win for me.
Boom.
Yeah, that came from a
That was
direct
single
mail.
family?
It was actually a duplex.
And
Okay.
you got that lead from what, direct mail? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was an absentee owner or if it was a vacant property, because he technically was both. So I could not find the lead in there in all my lists, so I don't know. But he definitely called from direct mail. I know that.
So guys, that's why I am really big on direct mail. Like for me, direct mail is our kind of our mainstay. It's our foundational piece. It's something we always do no matter what, because it consistently brings in leads, and for whatever reason, people get postcards and they call. So make sure you guys are keeping that going. Robbie, how'd you do with your direct mail? Is that still running? You getting calls from that?
Not yet. I'm hoping to get some today because they had some address issue and it was supposed to mail out on Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and Monday was a holiday.
Okay.
I was really expecting something yesterday, but nothing came up. But
Okay.
I'll see from today.
Yep. Okay. So you probably start getting calls. I'm guessing. When did it go out?
Friday.
Yeah, you won't get calls until Friday this week.
Okay.
I'm guessing
Yes.
your calls will start coming in Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So
Okay.
that'll be cool though. You sent out a
And-
big batch of them.
Yeah, and also I gave Nexa the same inbound script which was in the videos you provided. Anything else needs to be changed or?
No, just let them run the process.
Okay.
And then you're
That's-
having, so Nexa will then input the lead right in your Podio, right?
No, I was gonna email you later on for getting the Podio set up too. Today I didn't have Podio. I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
using the
Okay. So yeah, I'll connect Tyler with you.
Yes. So I'll work on that. And
Just
I just use
remember,
use the web
guys.
form.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead, Robbie. I'm sorry.
I just use the web form thing from
Yep.
Google Forms.
Okay.
I kind of make that for them, but
Okay.
I'm thinking that the kind of volume I send, it's better I get into Podio as soon as possible.
So here's the thing is, remember you guys, and Josh, it was cool that you got this lead and you've already converted that into some nice cash. But what you guys, I'm just telling you, what you don't realize is you've planted all these other seeds. So you're going to harvest those seeds later. And that's why I'm so big on the CRM and Podio, is because if you don't have a way to harvest those seeds later via a CRM that you can follow up with that tracks every single lead that ever comes into your life, if you don't have that in a vault, you will never be able to follow back up and get to that. And I'm telling you, 75% of the deals I close are follow-ups. That means most of them come through follow-ups. So if you get one deal closed right away, there's 3 more on the backside that are waiting to be closed. You close those next month, 6 months from now, a year from now, maybe 2 years from now, but it'll happen. It's just how it works. Sometimes people will follow up with, or most of the time you'll have to follow up with them. Sometimes they'll save your postcard. I've had calls from people that have called us back from a postcard, and I'll see, like, when we buy the house, the postcard was put right on the fridge. That's another reason I like direct mail. It's a physical piece. When you text somebody, when you call somebody, that's great, and you get instant feedback from that. But a piece of actual mail is something people will keep. So those are seeds, and those seeds sometimes take a minute to sprout and take a little bit to harvest. So that's why, Robbie, on the Podio piece, it's so important, because you have to have a way to really nurture those leads. So
For sure.
no different to you guys than in my real estate education business. There's people that see my stuff every single day, never respond. And then one day they hit me up, hey man, I want to do this or this or this with you on your education side, or I want to buy this product. And they might have been watching my stuff for years. So, so that's just how it works. I mean, timing's not perfect for everybody. The minute you mail out those direct mail pieces, that doesn't mean that that's the perfect time for that they want to sell. It might mean they're thinking about it. Might mean they're not thinking about it at all. So very, very important.
Hey, Matt,
Yeah.
when your people, I do think the follow-up piece is huge. Always have, but not to say that I've disciplined myself to do it appropriately. That's a different story, but the podium, like you said, helps. But my question is, for example, you're talking, and you might have went over this, but you're talking to somebody, and they're not like, I'm going to sue you if you call me again, but they're, listen, I have these 2 properties. I'm going to keep them for life. I'm going to give them to my grandchildren. God knows what excuse they have for not selling today. I'm just not interested. Really, I'm not going to sell these properties.
But if they say take you off the list, then take them off the list.
Yeah, they say take off the list. But if they don't say that, if they say I'm just not going to sell now, wouldn't you open it up with, well, do you mind if I just kind of keep in touch with you and call you in 30 days and just see how we're doing and keep doing that and doing that?
Yeah, I mean, you could say, well, I wouldn't say 30 days. I would just say, hey, do you mind if I just follow up with you down the road?
Right.
And maybe for somebody that's absolutely, they do not have any plans to sell, and they're not, 30 days might be too soon. Maybe hit them in 60 days.
Okay.
The people that are saying, I don't know, maybe I'm willing to sell, maybe I'm not. Those are the people you follow up with more often.
Okay.
Because they haven't given you the definite, hey, I'm not, I absolutely do not want to sell. If somebody just says, hey, I'm giving these properties to my kids, I just have no reason to sell. I'm not motivated to sell. I don't really want to sell.
Yeah.
Those are the people you could just politely say, hey, do you mind if I just follow up with you down the road? No, I don't even want you to follow up anymore. I don't want to be bothered with it. Then just say, okay, well, I'm just going to take you off the list.
Okay. That makes sense. Why waste your time with a dead lead?
Yeah. Well, not only that, but I mean, just out of courtesy to people,
Sure.
just if they don't want to talk to you, then just remove them. There's just so many leads, guys. There's so many deals.
Yeah.
One of the little routines I have when I'm on an airplane, now I haven't been on an airplane in a really long time because of everything going on, but when I'm on an airplane and I'm flying into the Quad Cities and we fly in, I always stare at all the houses that you see. And it's like, man, there's a lot of flips out there,
Yeah.
There's a lot of houses to buy. One house isn't going to make or break me. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but yeah, that's why we follow up.
I remember a deal I had a while ago where the guy told me, and I'm sure it's happened to you guys too, because you've got experience, you're dealing with sellers. And he said, I am interested in selling, but I got a tenant in the house and it'll be somewhere down the road. It'll be probably 6 months from now before I even consider doing it. In fact, it might be in August, and let's say it was January. Well, I kept following up with this guy month after month, just a phone call. Hey, how you doing? What's happening? Well, I did it, and we get closer and closer. Well, I don't know. I got to get the tenant on. He says, I hate, and then he finally said, I hate this property. And it was a over $100,000 house that he was renting out because he hated the tenant, right? He could.
Yeah.
And guess what? I closed the deal after 6 months. I said, why did you buy from me? I said, well, why did you sell to me is what I said to him. He said, because you were nice to me the first time on the phone. And he says, you acted like you cared and you weren't, you kept following up and kept calling me. He said, there was no one left. There was no competition.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
That's really awesome.
That's
But
awesome.
that's normal. Like that will happen to you guys forever if you just keep following up and always be, we're really nice people and we don't pressure people. Like I'm really big. I'm probably the lowest pressure, highest closer seller you'll ever meet because I just have a way of telling the people the posture that comes through the phone or through just my voice or how I speak is that I don't need your house. I got 100 other leads that are kind of going to come in this week, but I'm here to help you if you want to sell. And so the people that are over anxious and really trying to be pushy, I just don't, they might get a sale here and there and they might snipe a deal here and there, but that sales tactic is not great. Just be there to help people and don't be pushy. Let them know that, hey man, you know, you don't have to sell me your house, and I've got plenty of other houses to buy. But if you do want some help, I'm here,
That's
and I'll
awesome.
help you. You
That's
know,
good
so,
advice.
yeah. But if you only have one lead to work on, then you can
You're
let
in
that get
trouble.
the best of
You're
you.
in trouble.
Yeah,
You're in
I mean,
trouble.
you have an advantage there. So, there's a lot of sneaky people out there that that are not ethical, that will tell the seller whatever they need to tell the seller, and those guys will get some deals sometimes, but it's never going to be long term.
I hate that. I hate when guys, they're doing anything to get the deal, and they'll say anything, and sometimes they tie up the house. I found, and I know you've talked about tying up the house, but you're reasonable about it. They tie it up at a price they just know that they're not even going to be close to, just to get the deal away from everybody else. And
Yeah,
it's
that's
ridiculous.
not good.
No, it's a ridiculous price. And then they come back. I said, you wait, Mr. Seller. He's going to come back to you within 2 weeks and tell you, oh no, I got to have another 30,000 off. I said, you wait. And it happens, you know?
Yeah. So, you know, that stuff happens all the time. But it's just one of those things that if you guys, you know, if you're consistently following up and making offers, you are going to consistently fill your pipeline, and you're going to consistently close deals. I just haven't worried about getting deals under contract in so many years that I don't even think about it. It just doesn't cross my mind. It's like, if I do X work, it's going to return X leads. Out of those X leads, I'm going to close X amount of deals. It's just a system you build. But it takes a minute to fill the pipeline, and it takes a minute to get your routine down and really get comfortable. And the more deals you do, the more confidence you get. The more confidence you have, the more deals you're closing. People pick up on that. You know, you can take somebody that's brand new in the business but just has a ton of confidence, and they'll close deals. You can also take people that have been around for a while and don't have that confidence, and they struggle. So it's a big piece. Confidence is something that everybody should work on. You know, confidence is one of those things where if your confidence is off by 5 or 10%, that doesn't mean your production's off 5 or 10%. That means your production's off over 50%. Confidence has that big of an impact on your business and on your ability to close. So, you know, something to protect. And the best way to build your confidence is have so many leads that you can't even get to them all. I'll never forget in 08, 09, I used to run all my own appointments. And I remember having so many leads come in that I would literally, like, the phone would ring nonstop. Like, literally every 5 minutes, my phone was ringing with a new lead. And I got to the point where I was telling sellers, listen, I've got so many leads. I can't deal with all of them. Why don't you try to, like, put some I'd teach them bandit signs, put some signs around your neighborhood. You'd probably be able to sell it. Here's what you'd say on them, and here's what you write. And I was literally telling them, list it on Craigslist, do this, bandit signs. And they would call me back and just say, I'd just rather sell to you. You know, so the more I push them away, the more they would come back. And then I would close the deal. Confidence.
Hey, real quick too. I know I'm monopolizing a little bit, but I usually don't ask many questions or.
No, you're all good.
Yeah, say too much. But as far as, you know, our future here with the COVID and this kind of thing, I know no one has a crystal ball or anything like that, or no economist has the corner on exactly what's going to happen. They're wrong a lot of the time. But as far as you're concerned, Matt, and some of your other friends in the real estate business and what you've gleaned and what your personal experience is, what do you think over the next 6 to 12 months should we be looking for? Should we be expecting? Are there going to be just tons of foreclosure, or they're not going to be foreclosures? What are you hearing from your experts and your people?
So I don't think, I just read something yesterday. Somebody posted, it was so stupid, about a bunch of foreclosures hitting. That's not happening, because the foreclosures, there's a moratorium on them anyway. And all of the banks, I have conversations with lots of banks because I get a lot of bank loans, and the banks aren't, they're not pushing for people, you know, they're giving people time they're adding payments on the back side of the loans. So the foreclosure thing's not happening. You know, a lot of the people that weren't working, a lot of those people were, you know, tenants, people renting. So I don't think that, I don't personally see a foreclosure crisis around the corner at all. I think that the economy is going to recover. I think that it will probably push back and get stronger from now until through the rest of the year, as long as this thing doesn't flare up again. I think there's going to be opportunities because there are bubbles of types of jobs that people did lose, and they got some money from the government through the $1,200 and all that. I think there's going to be opportunities created because of that, and there always is opportunities. So I think it's going to be. I think we are probably going to recover. The interest rates are so low; people are still buying houses. I just hear too many real estate agents telling me that they're pending. I just got off a call with a real estate agent in the Quad Cities just on Friday, and she was like, "My sales are identical to what they were last year. We're selling so many houses right now." So I think it's going to rebound. And I knew that this window of opportunity would only be open for so long, but I didn't think it was going to rebound as quickly as it is. So I feel like there are going to be pockets of opportunity, just like there always is, only this will be a little bit better because some people are, I think commercial real estate is going to take a hit big time because people are going to work virtually. I think that there are going to be pockets of people that have been out of work for a long time. There's going to be business owners that didn't get PPP funds, and they're going to go out. So that's going to create opportunities. There's going to be people liquidating assets to get cash. So that's going to create opportunities. But until the demand is met, I think the election could have a big impact on what the economy does. So I think it's going to be strong. I really do. I think that, we had a great opportunity in the last 60 days to make a lot of money. And we pushed hard with my team, and we made a lot of offers and got a lot of houses. But yeah, the main thing is this. The main thing, you guys, is this. I would not get into the high-end properties. I would not do $1 million houses, 500,000. Like, Robbie, this doesn't really affect you because you deal with that's an everyday starter home price. What I would do if I was you guys is focus on the starter and mid-range homes, okay? So if your average starter home in your area, like for me, those are $125,000 houses. I'm going to focus on the 125 to the 250s, okay? That's the sweet spot for me. I'm not doing the 500,000 and $1 million homes in my area. That's risky. Those properties, I just like my own house that I'm sitting in right now. I do not see my house going up in value at all for a while. There's just not enough buyers for that price of a house, and the economy is not strong enough to support that. But I do think that the starter homes and the mid-range homes is going to be the sweet spot. If you guys focus on that, you're going to have buyers to sell them to, and there's going to be people coming back. So one of the opportunities you guys have right now is, or all of us have, is lending. Is for investors. A lot of hard money lenders jumped out. Maybe some of them are jumping back in now. Maybe they haven't yet. So that's created opportunity. And secondly, there's just people kind of waiting around to see what'll happen. So there's still a lot of opportunity, but I don't know after that. I do know this. Eventually, we'll have a long-term downplay. And I don't know when that day will be, but I don't really think if Trump doesn't get reelected, it could happen next year. If Trump gets reelected, I think we could see another several years of upswing. I mean, I keep an eye on the stock market really closely because even though the stock market isn't real estate, it still affects real estate. And the stock market's done a good job of coming back over the last few weeks. It's not back to where it was, but it probably will head back that way. So I would make smart decisions on the houses you're buying, wholesale mostly. Do some fix and flips maybe here and there on guaranteed sales. Like in 08, 09, 2010, I flipped a ton of retail properties and I did the starter home prices. There's always buyers for those. There's always people that want to live in their own house and that can afford a $120,000 house. So that's how I protect my business. That way I don't need to predict where the thing's going. I know that if I wholesale and I sell something to a cash buyer, there's no risk. I'm in, I'm out. That's cash. Put that cash aside, hold on to that cash.
Here's your keep in the mailbox.
Somebody have a question?
No, sorry.
Oh, so anyway, does that answer your question, Jeff?
Yeah, it does. And that sounds like a great market to continue to pursue the starter home and the step above that too, because people are still, there's limited inventory. There just isn't enough inventory, even though it appears the demand is down. I don't think it is. Here's why. Here's why. Most of the reason why it looks like there's really, really high demand right now is because so many people took their houses off the market, so there's not much to pick from. They're waiting until this whole thing is done before they come back and start offering to sell again. Okay. And the rental market is not even though
red hot. It's red hot.
It's crazy. I just finished a house that I was going to retail out, at a quite a bit of money, and I thought, now the economies might be kind of soft, this and that. I mean, it was a step up, okay, from even the first time home buyer, like 3 or 4 steps up. And I thought, I got to build a brand new garage. I'm not going to do all that right now. I'm going to throw it out there for rent for 2 years, get a ton of money in, reduce my basis in the property, and then turn around and flip it and make even more, okay, in 18 months or whatever, when the economy's roaring even better. And you know what? I rented that thing. I charged a ridiculous, rent level just to see if I could get it. I got it. And I'm like amazed.
Yeah, we have, we manage in the Quad Cities, we have 1,100 properties, and we just have nothing available. It's nuts. We're renting. When something goes vacant, we're turning it over. We're adding to the rent. So, yeah, I'm with you. The rent market's strong. The retail market's strong because so many people took their houses off the market, so that shrunk up the supply and demand. But other than that, just make smart decisions. Wholesale a lot. Take that cash, put it aside, and do fix and flips on stuff that you absolutely know 100%, even if you mess it up, you can either rent it out for cash flow or sell it at a lower price and still make money.
Makes sense. Thanks for the advice.
Is there an area you can get documents I know you got a lead sheet or maybe a buyer sheet, interview sheet that I can send to my VA. Is that in our resources?
A buyer I think so. I believe so. I believe just check it out and see. It should be in there.
Okay.
You mean like a questionnaire to
ask buyers?
Yeah.
I know we've created. I'm pretty sure it's in there.
Okay.
Check it out and see. If it's not, send me a message. I'll make sure we get it uploaded.
This is pretty good. You could
What's that?
Seller script.
Yeah.
I don't know. It has some good stuff the VA can kind of learn the conversations and some objections to overcome and stuff.
I'll check that.
Yeah.
What else? Anybody else got anything? Anything else I can help you guys with this week?
I want to share a story with the VA. What happened was my computer's Windows got crashed, and she was just sitting aside. So I was looking for a cold callers, and I asked her, "Do you know anyone in your friend circle who's looking for a job?" And she said she does not, but she said they have a groups over there in their local Facebook community over there. So she posted an ad for me from her side, from her ID in their portal, and I got 300 applications for
no way
for VA cold callers, $2 to $3 per hour. That's what she wrote on the $2 to $3.
Wow.
So that's something you guys can use also. Just ask them to post in their local Facebook groups over there.
That is powerful. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome.
That's crazy.
And I was really surprised. And yesterday all day her job was to just go over those resumes, see whoever has a real estate experience, and tell them go take the Tony Robbins test and send us the results.
So let me ask you, could you ask her what the name of the Facebook group that
I have the picture. I'll send you over.
Yeah, send it to us. Put it in the Facebook group, okay?
Okay, I'll do that.
Cool. Thank you. That's a great story. I love that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, cool, guys. If there's nothing else, I'm going to jump off here. Anybody got anything else? You all good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, have a good rest of your week. I look forward to talking to you guys next week, and have a good weekend, you guys.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Matt.
Matt.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Great.
We'll see you.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thank
week.
you.
All right. Bye.
All right, guys. Bye.